Hello everybody, E here. Welcome back to another movie review. Today we are talking about a movie that I almost skipped out on, more on that in a second, but we are talking about Mike Flanagan's adaptation of Dr. Sleep. I'll even throw up the movie poster at some point in time. So, a little bit of history why I didn't want to see this movie. I'm not a fan of the Stanley Kubrick The Shining. I hate the movie, not because King hates it. I dislike it for the same reasons that he doesn't like it, but even more so, the music, the sound design of the film gets on my nerves. If you have a problem with that opinion, probably don't watch the rest of this review, because I'm going to go into more detail here about how I think Mike Flanagan did continuing Kubrick's film as a sequel to the Kubrick film, and as an adaptation of Dr. Sleep, the book itself. Okay, so right off the bat, I really enjoyed this movie. This is probably, I'm tentatively, I'm going to say this is my favorite Stephen King adaptation as of right now. And the reason I didn't want to see it, I wasn't going to see it, but the reason that I saw it, the reason why I saw it was because my local theater, the final day that it was going to be on at the theater, they had a $4 showing of it, so I decided, why not? I'm so glad that I went. I went with my wife and my oldest son, and everybody loved it. Me, Shell, and Dan, we all loved it. What the film does right is very important to me, because like I said in the intro to this video, I don't like the Kubrick film. I especially don't like the way that the film ends, because there's no redemption for Jack Torrance. One of the major themes of The Shining is the relationship between the father and the son, and how the son can continue, and that's what makes Dr. Sleep, the good parts of Dr. Sleep, important, is how a son can still love his father even after everything that he has put his son through. There's a lot in here that Flanagan unpacks that Kubrick didn't even touch, which was mainly the relationship between Danny and Jack. You don't get that feeling of father-son relationship, or father-son love, son-father love. You don't get any of that in the movie version, Kubrick's version, because he basically turned a literary novel about a man fighting his own demons and the power of this supernatural hotel. He turns it into a slasher film, and I don't care for it. But one of the things, not one of the things, the biggest thing that Flanagan gets right is he not only fixes the very, I thought, lackluster and boring ending of Dr. Sleep, the novel, but he also fixes Kubrick's movie. I know that's a bold statement for some of you. I know a lot of people are like, this is nowhere near as good as The Shining, and it never was going to be. I disagree wholeheartedly. This movie has heart. This movie has emotion. This movie made me cry twice. There's plenty of stuff in this movie that really tugs at the heartstrings, and it fixes the problem with Kubrick's movie. And I appreciate the fact that he had the stones to do it. That he had the guts to actually say, look, Kubrick got it wrong, even though I know he's a fan of the movie. You can tell he's saying, Kubrick got it wrong, let me fix his mistakes. And that's exactly what he does. In fact, as a companion piece, if I can make it through The Shining, with as much as I hate the sound design, if I can make it through that, I would love to watch these two back and forth. This one actually makes me want to watch the original one, because the whole package, I feel, is probably going to be pretty amazing. A huge standout in the movie is the lady that plays Wendy. She does a spot-on Shelley Duvall, but she does Shelley Duvall better than Shelley Duvall. I know another unpopular opinion. I've seen a lot of stuff from people on Twitter saying that Shelley Duvall should have gotten an Oscar. I find her exceedingly annoying in that movie. There's a lot of stuff that annoys me in the movie. Jack Nicholson's over-the-top acting annoys me. The music annoys me. Pretty much the whole film annoys me. But another thing with Kubrick's film is that it's clinical. It's a very pretty film, of course. That's one of the things that the film gets right, in my opinion, is the cinematography. It's a very pretty film to look at. It's an artistic film, but it's pretty much it's as beautiful. It's beautiful in the same way that maybe brain surgery is. You're watching an artist. You're watching someone who is skilled at what they do. Hopefully, skilled at what they do. You're watching them perform, and that's kind of what The Shining is for me. It is a piece of soulless clinical art. It has no heart to it whatsoever. There's no character development. There's just, the characters that come in at the beginning are the same characters at the end. But with Dr. Sleep, you get that heart. You get that feeling like Flanagan cared, and I want this man to direct every single Stephen King adaptation from here on out. I like this film better than I like this film more than I liked the 2017 not reimagining or reboot, but the Andy Machete's It Chapter 1. I liked it better than even Gerald's Game. Some of the ones, and of course Flanagan also did Gerald's Game. This is a fantastic movie. I'm not sure why some people don't like it. I'm sure you guys will let me know down there in the doobly-doo. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of you that, go, oh my god, The Shining is a masterpiece. That's fine. You can have your opinion. But it did it for me. It fixed everything that was wrong with the book, Dr. Sleep, and Kubrick's version of The Shining. And yes, there are Easter eggs in the movie, but this is not an Easter egg heavy film. The guy who plays Jack Torrance does a serviceable job. Like, he's my only complaint. He kind of looks like him. He gets the mannerisms and the walking, especially when he has the axe. He gets that stuff right, but as far as sound, he doesn't sound anything like Jack Nicholson. I don't know if Jack Nicholson's voice is trademarked. I don't know if you can even do something like that. But there are certain throwbacks to the original. There is the room 237, but coolly enough, at the convalescent home that Dan works at. One of the rooms is room 217. The baseball boy has 19 on his shirt. There's a lot of stuff in there. There's even a street called King Street. I don't know if that was intentional or that was just a happy accident. I'm not sure. But a big thing, and I'm going to say this a lot, a major thing, that I loved about it is that the book for the movie is pretty much exactly the book up until a point. There are certain scenes that are cut out. Dialogue is cut short, but the scenes, you can pretty much sit there with the novel and just go, okay, next. And in a way, it was kind of like spoilery, because I knew exactly, after a certain time, I knew exactly what scene Flanagan was going to show me next. That was actually kind of cool. I thought maybe after a while that I was going to grow bored with it, but he had changed just enough stuff to keep me interested. And then at a certain point, he throws everything out the window and makes an entirely, I would say the last 30, 45 minutes of the film, makes an entirely different movie than the book. And I loved it. There's certain scenes in the Overlook, at the last, he goes to the Overlook if you've watched the trailers. There are certain scenes when he goes to the Overlook at the end that I was worried might feel like fan service. They didn't feel like fan service. Another thing that he fixed, there's a scene with Dan, and I'm not going to tell you who, but it's at the bar at the Overlook. That is the best scene in the entire movie because, once again, it fixes the problem with Kubrick's The Shining. There's so much love and heart and compassion in this movie. I was shocked. I was flummoxed that anyone could care that much, and this is going to sound really bad, but anyone could care that much about the source material, because Dr. Sleep for me was a very, very meh experience. It was middle of the road, 2.5, 3 stars, whatever you want to call it. But the movie's terrific. Like I said, he fixes everything. He fixes the the ending of the book and he fixes the ending of the movie, and he actually made me want to watch Kubrick's The Shining again, which I never thought I'd say that ever again. I know there's going to be quite a few people out there that disagree with me. I would love to hear from you guys. I may not respond to everybody. There's only so much debating or talking about the stuff that we disagree with before it turns into an argument. So I may not respond to everybody, but I would love to hear what you guys, what you liked about it and what you didn't like about it, especially if you didn't like certain stuff, because I can't find any fault with the movie other than maybe, Jack doesn't sound like Jack Nicholson, that kind of thing. The guy that plays, just real quick, the guy that plays Dick, I think he did a fantastic job. I think he was better than the original actor. I can never remember his name. I know it's not Cat Stevens, and I'm gonna hate myself, but for not. Anyways, leave your comments down there in the doobly-doo. You know how we do. And tell me who it was. But I think he did a better job than the original actor. And the way that they incorporated, I was worried about how they were going to incorporate Dick into this one. The way they incorporated it was genius. I mean, it's obvious now watching it that was the only way that they could do it. But actually seeing it done, I was like, oh, well, why didn't I think of that kind of thing? I was worried about so much stuff that I shouldn't have been worried about, and I'm so glad that I caught it in theaters. As soon as it comes out, I'm buying it on Blu-ray. So yeah, definitely let me know down there in the doobly-doo what you guys thought of the film. Be respectful. Don't be rude if you disagree with me. I'd like to have a discussion about, what you didn't like and why you didn't like those things. But yeah, let me know also if there's any King adaptations that are coming that you are looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to the HBO adaptation of The Outsider with Jason Bateman. That looks fantastic. But until next time, I have been E, you have been you. This has been another movie review. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye!